So just a little bit of a review in terms of rainfall. If we take a look at a couple of other locations for how we did. It's kind of nice to see that near 5 inches of rain falling in Ben Lomond. Kenfield got 4.5 inches. Fremont got 2.25. But let's take that San Francisco number, which is kind of like the benchmark for the Bay Area, kind of sits in the middle from north to south. It's right on the coast. It's a great way to gauge in general where we are in terms of average. We're going to use the San Francisco number. We got almost 2 inches from the storm overnight. That puts us at just technically now over 6 since we started the water year. And the water year starts here on October 1st. What would average be? Taking all the way through today's date into account. You're going to love this. We're still below average. 7 and 7/10 there. So if you want a percentage, we're at 78% of average. So let me give you some more uplifting news. If you just look at the month of December, we have done wonderfully. The average amount of rainfall up to this point in the month for December would be about 4.16 inches. And for this month so far, we're above average, over 4.5 inches. So we're at 111%. It was really kind of like that second half of November and October that let us down so far. And January looks like it's going to keep this going. We're just going to take a moment here and do a long-range forecast. We're not going to look at specifics here. We're not going to promise anything out of this. But the long-range forecasts now take us well into the first week of January, and we're all looking at this in the meteorology community. Maybe you've seen it on social. Let me show you what the storm track is going to look like from now through January 5th. I'll get out of the way. There's that long plume of moisture stretched across the Pacific. Here comes the first really good storm. That's Friday, Saturday. We're going to look at that one in more detail. There comes the next one into January. Here comes the next one. That's January 5th. There's another one lining up after that. We're not going to go anywhere past the 7-day forecast right now, but I thought you should know. Going into January, it's probably going to stay busy. That's what First Alert Doppler looks like now. We're done with this storm. Tomorrow, you don't get rained on. You have plenty of blue sky tomorrow. In fact, we need a break. And tomorrow is that break. And on Thursday, the first storm comes back. Not a big one, but Thursday it rains. And it's primarily going to be more noticeable second half of the day, Thursday afternoon and Thursday night right there. And that's the first storm. But it's this next one here which does look more impressive. If we just look at the Thursday rain, we get about 1/2 inch of rain on Thursday. So that would be decent by most standards. But in comparison to what's coming, all of a sudden it doesn't sound all that impressive. That's the setup taking us into Friday and Saturday. Watch how this really develops into a beautifully put together storm. That is Saturday. That's New Year's Eve day. That should this work out, and we're getting pretty close to this now, we're within that, we're approaching that 3 to 5 day window here where the confidence really starts to grow. That storm, if we put rainfall totals on this now, just looking at the Friday and Saturday time frame combined, that's as much rain as we just got from the one that came through this morning. And it will be fueled by another moderate strength atmospheric river. And that's the one right here for Friday and Saturday. This does mean New Year's Eve plans right now. We've got to start thinking about the possibility of rain there. But by New Year's Day, we're going to be done. And it doesn't look like we're starting to talk seriously about major flooding concerns from that, but we're going to give it a little more time to play out. We've done a good job saturating the ground. And that might be a discussion we start to get into, say, after the first week of January, should that series of storms continue lining up. This is a good time to really stay on top of the forecast with us because it's going to get real busy. It's likely we're probably going to start putting this into first alert category. We'll take another look at that tomorrow. We just want to give it a little more time in the models to get some better clarity on it. But a repeat of Tuesday morning is starting to look pretty likely for Friday and Saturday. A break on New Year's Day, and then January. And we'll have much more to discuss about that as we get closer to it. All right.